In a world where the Constitution is under attack, one team of patriots stands up to fight for what's right with courage, strength, truth, and justice. Backed by popular demand and broadcasting live via the internet, this is the world-famous Rage Against the Regime, bringing you hard-hitting exclusive interviews and covering the topics the mainstream media doesn't dare to touch. Here are your hosts, Bobby Who's the Man and Becky Williams.
Well, Mama told me when I was young, said sit beside me, my only son, and listen closely to what I say, and if you do this, it'll help you some sunny day. It will. Oh, take your time. Don't live too fast. Troubles will come, and they will pass. You'll find a warm arm, and you'll find love. And don't forget that there is a someone up above. And be a simple kind of man. Be something you love and understand. Baby, be a simple kind of man. Oh, won't you do this for me, son, if you can, if you can. Get your lust from the rich man's gold. All that you need now is in your soul, and you can do this, oh baby, if you try. All that I want from you, my son, is to be you worry, you'll find yourself. Follow your heart and nothing else, and you can do this, oh baby, if you try. All that I want from you, my son, is to be something
Welcome to Rage Against the Regime Radio. I'm your host, Bobby, who's the man. And I'm going to apologize for my voice today. Did some screaming here the last couple days. Being a sports enthusiast, watching my team, being in the playoffs and everything, you know, we haven't been there in the position that we're in right now in quite a while. So I do apologize for my voice. But then again, maybe I won't get excited, maybe I won't scream, maybe I won't hoot and holler. But then again, I can't show you my enthusiasm. So I want to start off with a few things that are very, very important to us right now. Congress has stepped up to the plate. And I've been following the sessions of Congress the last couple days. And I give them a ton of credit. They are finally putting the government on the line. They're putting the NSA, the FBI, the CIA, a bunch of other groups that I've never even heard of before that all have something to do with the shadow government. And they've put them on the stand talking about the emails for Hillary Clinton. I know it's old news. I know it's been talked about forever. But guess what? It's a whole different game plan now. They actually subpoenaed the government and some of these shadow alphabet agencies to give up the information that they have hidden that they don't want to share with Congress. Congress made it very clear to them that they can't withhold anything from them, that they're Congress. They can't hide anything from them. And Congress actually asked these alphabet agencies to actually give information about the Constitution that states that Congress cannot look at any of this information, and they said they cannot because there is none. So then they kept saying, well, you know, tell us why you can't give us the information. And they kept coming up with these little reasons that, oh, well, you know, this is top secret information, blah, blah, blah. So they actually served them. And it was a beautiful video. I posted it on the Rage Against the Regime podcast page. And he said, you have officially been served, and you will give us over all the information that you're trying to hide. That was in yesterday's. Today's, they had all these people from the different alphabet organizations there, and we're asking them questions. And they kept saying, well, we don't want to talk about it here. We'd rather talk about it behind closed doors. Which they said, okay, we understand that, but I want you to answer one question for me. The person that had these emails and wasn't looking at them properly, wasn't protecting them properly, do you think that they're guilty? Some of them didn't want to answer the question. Some of them had no choice but to, and said yes. They're going after Hillary Clinton. They're going after Barack Obama. They're going after them very hard right now. And it kind of gives you something to look forward to, because it makes it seem like Congress might actually be going after them and might hold them liable for the actions of Hillary Clinton, you know, being careless with her emails, with her server and everything else. Might hold her responsible for Benghazi and who knows what else. I mean, this is 100 times worse than Watergate, folks. What we have going on right now with the whole Hillary Clinton situation and her husband, hell, even Barack Obama, this is all worse than Watergate. Now, a meme the other day that I read said about Hillary Clinton, we all know that she's slimy, she's crooked, she's this, she's that, and all these other things. You know, it just went on. It was a bunch of things about her that were absolutely true. It said, we all know these things. The bad part about it is her supporters know it and they don't care. They still support her, they still want her in office, and they know that she is as crooked as they come, and they don't care. There's something very, very bad about that. Now, some of these Trump rallies that are going on, the Hillary supporters that are paid $1,500 to go out and protest all of Donald Trump's his rallies and stuff, they get $1,500, and if they cause enough havoc, they get an Apple iPhone. Is that not crazy? $1,500 and an Apple iPhone. Unbelievable. I think it's very, very interesting to know that the Democrats will go that far out of their way to have people go out and cause chaos and, you know, disrupt the whole Trump rallies and everything else, just to have media coverage say, oh, there was another outbreak at a Trump rally. They won't show the crowd of thousands while Hillary's getting 100, 200, 300. She's not getting anywhere near thousands. Look, the gig is up. Now, this is the big information. Sean Hannity had his people go undercover. They caught this group of people that are going to try to rig the election. So far, there's a 2-part series. There's going to be many more coming out before the election is over with. So far, there's 2, and they uncover a lot. They show you who's responsible, who they're with. They're all part of the Democratic Party. How they're going to rig the system, what they're going to do. And this right here should tell us all what's going on and what the game plan is that they're going to try to do to make sure that Donald Trump does not make it to the White House. It's sad, folks. It's sad. Because they're so scared of the man, because they know that he is not going to allow any more of this riffraff to go on. They know that he's true blue and he's a true American, and that he is going to do the best job possible. Now, look, I say that he has an agenda also. They all do. But I don't think that his agenda is anywhere near crooked like Hillary's. Okay? I don't think that, you know, he might be somebody that wants power only to help with, you know, his buildings going up and, you know, maybe to help solidify trading with other countries and maybe help build some hotels and buildings in other countries. Who cares? It's his money. He will not be using the, you know, United States money. He'll be using his own. But if he did use our money and it helped create a better economy and bring money back to us, why not? I don't see a problem with it. I think that he's going to help bring the deficit down. I think he's going to bring more jobs. I think he's going to hold some of these some of these companies responsible for taking their business elsewhere to like Mexico and India and some of these other places for cheaper labor. But he's also going to hold those countries responsible for trying to do business in our country and not pay the price for it. We should have been doing that all along. But instead, the way that our government is set up right now and the people that are in place, they're trying to make our economy weaker. I'll be the first one to tell you, Barack Obama, when he went into office, there was already a deficit. There was already money issues. There was already a problem. But with all those great things that he said, and, you know, we gotta believe, and, you know, all this other crap, yeah, whatever, buddy. You haven't changed a damn thing. You've made things worse. And we were fooled. We were fooled by you. We were fooled by your ignorance. And now we allowed a foreign entity to come into our White House and disrupt our whole country. That's where we're at right now. Now, the whole Bundy situation and the Mahler Wildlife Refuge, we come to find out that there was undercover ops at both places, at the Bundy Ranch standoff and at the Wildlife Refuge standoff. We come to find out President Obama is the one that gave the okay to have the undercovers in there and make them paid ops, informants, so on and so forth. We're coming to find out that some of these guys and women were trained in other countries because they are foreigners. One person was a Swiss, I'm trying to think of whatever their military is called. He was in the Swiss military for 25 years and trained to do PSYOPs. This is discovery that they found out in court. They talked about it in court, so come to find out some information about this guy. People knew him as one name, and he had another name besides Terry Linnell, who's Mama Bear, and Mark McConnell. This is the third person that they gave the name about, but come to find out that there's a lot more. They're saying there's like 16 more. There's probably way more than that. They're saying that the people that were there, that were the informants, we're just going to call them tricks, and set everything up, did not stay at the Wildlife Refuge. That they stayed off-site and did not stay at the refuge. Now, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this one out, folks. And I'm going to let you figure it out for yourself. I'm not even going to have to tell you any names. You'll figure it out when I'm done. There's plenty of videos that people were making after they left the Wildlife Refuge and went back to a hotel and went and talked about the things that happened for the day, after the meetings, so on and so forth, of everything that was going on. And there was more than one. There was groups of them. Now, I called out Mama Bear already, Terry Linnell. I've called out Mark McConnell. Now this other guy, I don't even remember his name. But I think we're going to come to find out that some of these other people, we know Buddha Bear was definitely a paid op. He took a plea bargain, ran, and everything else. Come to find out he was actually an informant. I believe that we're going to find out here real soon who some of these other people are, even though the government said, or not the government, the judge in the court said that they will not release any more names throughout this whole court proceedings. Well, hate to tell you, but they can't seal that part of it because it's part of the evidence. So eventually, they're going to have to say who some more of the people are, especially if the court proceedings go on longer and it's part of the whole trial process. They're going to have to disclose who some of these people are. Look for some popular names that made big names for themselves. Make sure you keep an eye out for those names, because I'm willing to bet anything that some of you may be surprised, some of you may not be surprised at all. Now, I gotta tell you, some of the names that I think that are going to be found to be part of this. Now, I'm not going to say any names right now because I don't know 100% for sure. And we like to only share the truth here. Okay? If I told you any names that I thought, it would not be truthful, and I would not be doing you any justice by saying any names, because I don't know it to be 100% true, because it was not disclosed in court. But I will be the first one to tell you guys all the names as soon as they let them be known. But the point that I was getting at before I had to do that little statement right there is I believe that you're going to find out that most of these people are people that were always in the limelight. People doing videos, and sharing them with everybody. People doing, I don't know, making audio and sending it around and making sure everybody shares it. Yeah, you know the likes of the people that I'm talking about. I think we're going to be finding that out. I mean, it's already to be questioned how some of these people were traveling all over the country, going to different things, traveling, not having jobs, but having businesses in, certain names and certain entities and stuff like that, and making money and being able to travel. It's to be questioned. And some of them would say, oh, people are donating money and this and that. Yeah, I get it. Supposedly people are donating money until you start digging and digging and digging and finding their businesses and their productions and stuff like that, and seeing how much money that they made last year and the year before and so on and so forth. It's pretty sad. But yeah, there's going to be more coming out. We'll find out more. As the trial goes on, we'll end up finding out a lot more. Because the way that I'm understanding it, there's at least 16 more names. I think there's more than that. I don't think that the government is going to let everything be known. Okay? Now, I got to be honest here. We were in a post on a thread talking about something, and as I said on the last show, I don't trust 99.9% of the patriots in the Patriot movement right now. And I'll tell you why. Because of Exhibit A, we'll just call it, of what's going on right now, of all these people that were paid informants to go out and become part of the Patriot movement, and to be able to turn evidence against other people that they thought were their brothers and sisters that they could put all their trust and faith into. Well, come to find out, they were something completely different. They were working for the shadow government. They were working for the alphabet gangs. And they were there to do dirt. To get that false sense of security. Wow, I tried to say that really fast. False sense of security. And they earned it. They earned people's false sense of security. They had people start trusting them. Oh, you're my brother, you're my sister, I trust you. Now, I'm not saying, it's probably bad of me to say what I just said. I do trust people in the Patriot movement, but not very many. And one main reason why I say that is because I don't know these people personally. I've never met a lot of them. How can you say that you trust somebody if you have not had a chance to look them in the eye and see, if there's trust there? I'm the type of person that I like to be able to look somebody in the eye while they're talking to me. And I'll be able to tell you if they're lying or not. How some of these people, they had these fictitious names. Come to find out, it wasn't even their real names. No surprises. Nothing to be surprised about at all. It's pretty sad, folks. It really is. It's pretty sad to come to find out the little tricks that the government does to lead people right into, into slaughter, pretty much. Same thing happened with Chief Mark Kessler, jackass. He did the same thing. Made people think that he was part of the movement, made all these great videos of him shooting things and doing all these things and blowing things up and whatever. And, oh my God, this guy's on my side. It's Rambo. It's Rambo. Hey, John Rambo. Hey, Jen. That guy. Come to find out, he was working for the government. He was doing something undercover for them. He set up patriots and he brought them down. I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't have something to do with Casey Massey, who I have much respect for, and that's one patriot that I trust, because he's still behind bars right now doing time for this patriot movement. He went and did time down on that border to protect our borders from these illegals crossing, and he was sending them back. He was helping out the Border Patrol. And somebody undercover in the Patriot movement down in Brownsville, Texas, created some kind of evidence against Casey, and then led the Alphabet Gang to his hotel room. And they tried to say that he had stuff for making explosives or whatever, which come to find out that's BS. And then they tried to get him, well, they did charge him with him having a gun because he's a convicted felon. They say, oh yeah, you couldn't have a gun or whatever. Well, not so fast, because Texas state law is completely different from any other law in the United States, any other state. Their laws are completely different. So they actually got him on, right now I don't remember what it is. I have it written down somewhere because him and I used to talk about it, and other people have been on the show talking about it and everything else. God, I can't believe that I can't remember the word right now. But that's why they have him right now. And he's fighting his case. And it looks like, you know, they're trying to tack other things on for him. This government is up to no good, folks. Look what they're doing with our internet. They gave our internet to a foreign entity to run. The FCC doesn't even monitor our internet like they're supposed to. It was sold off to a company that's a foreign entity, and they can do whatever they want now with our internet. They're the ones monitoring it. So now, who knows what's going to happen? Seriously, who knows what's going to happen with the internet? Just like Julian Assange. Somebody reached out to the Ecuadorians and told them, hey, cut off his internet. He's not going to be sharing anything about Hillary Clinton anymore. He's not going to be disclosing information and exposing, that's right, exposing Hillary Clinton for the crook that she is any longer. We're going to stop that, so you need to turn off the internet to Julian Assange right now. Look, there was all types of information. Oh, Julian Assange, you know, they went in and they went in and stormed the embassy and did this and did that. No, they didn't do that. Information is still coming out from WikiLeaks. They're releasing it different ways. They've been dumping it here and there. But nobody's heard from Julian Assange. Some people think that he may have been extradited. Some people say that he may have been killed. I mean, I think he's just in hiding, to be honest with you. I just hope that we find out something about him pretty soon here. But in the same token, he's still releasing more information. WikiLeaks has something set up to where the information is still going to come out no matter what happens to Julian Assange. Between what's going on with Congress and them going after Hillary, Julian Assange and WikiLeaks going after her, come to find out a sex scandal is coming out about her. That was actually shared today by Drudge. And supposedly, there's some really juicy information relating to women and men. A lot of people say that Hillary is a closet lesbian. I don't think she's in the closet. I think she's very much out in the open, but I don't think that she's a lesbian. I think that she's bisexual. I think that she always has been. I don't think there's been no secret there. I would not be surprised if her and Bill Clinton were swingers. I'm not saying they are. I'm just saying I would not be surprised if they were. But nothing surprises me about Hillary whatsoever. Nothing. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Nothing surprises me about her. Or Bill Clinton. They're both crooks. Okay, I just wanted to do this little show, kind of get you guys all caught up on what's going on. Another thing that we should have talked about is there was an attack on ISIS. I guess a couple of cities, major cities, were taken back from them. We'll cover that on another time. I don't think that that's really news, because I think that that's just the United States being moved out from one place to another from Kurdish people and from, different rebel forces and stuff, because I think that the United States government is, and the United States military and the government are the ones that give ISIS all their weapons and everything else, and would not be surprised if that was true. So, and also, I'm just reading here that John Kerry is actually the one that went to the Ecuadorians and said to them, you need to stop allowing Julian Assange to share information. So I also wanted to let that be known. Okay, so until next time, you've been listening to Rage Against the Regime Radio, and I'm Bobby Who's the Man. Later, Gators.